Have you ever gone to a primary care physician visit for your annual wall doctor visit and 2 weeks later received a bill? And you wonder, why am I receiving a bill? I know my insurance covers preventative care in network at 100%. I confirm my doctor's in network. I got their NPI number. I checked it with my insurance company. I know for sure the doctor's in network with my benefits plan. They're contracted with my insurance. I covered all those bases. I did my due diligence. I did my research, and I made sure that the doctor that I'm seeing is in network with my benefits plan. I called the doctor's office and I said, I'm coming in. I'd like to have an annual wall doctor visit, my annual physical. Made the appointment, went to the doctor's office. Everything went well. Had a visit with the doctor for 15, 20 minutes, whatever it would be. They actually ordered labs. They sent labs out. They had the labs processed under my benefits plan. I know the annual wall doctor visit is covered. I know my preventative labs are covered at 100%. I shouldn't have to pay anything. And now, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, you receive a bill from your primary care physician's office for $200, for $150. Whatever it may be, the lab sends you a bill for another $150. Now you've got a $350 bill and you're seething, you're upset, you're trying to figure out, why am I getting billed from my doctor's office when I know I went for an annual physical and it's covered at 100%. Let me ask you a question. Who's the first person that you're going to pick up the phone and call to question the bill? Think about it for a moment. You went to your doctor's office, you had an annual physical, you received a bill from the doctor's office. Who do you call? Do you know most people will pick up the phone and they'll call the insurance company thinking the insurance company did something wrong, processed the claim incorrectly, made a mistake. Most people, unfortunately, like to blame the insurance company. I'm not saying they're not at fault. I'm not saying they didn't make a mistake. I'm not saying a mistake doesn't happen. But why, if you received a bill from your doctor's office, you would want to make your first phone call to the insurance company and wait online or try to get the answer through the insurance company portal, or call them and wait on hold for a half hour, 45 minutes, when most people nowadays have what's called a patient portal, where they can actually send a message directly through their primary insurance, their primary care physician, and ask them questions specifically. Make appointments, reschedule appointments, cancel appointments, ask about medications, right through the patient portal. Or you can pick up the phone, and based on the video that I made a little while back, you don't want to call on Mondays or Tuesdays. Consider Wednesdays or Thursdays or Fridays, because it's a little less hectic and busy at all businesses later in the week. Pick up the phone and call the doctor's office. The doctor's office is the one that sent you the bill. The doctor's office is asking you for money. Why would you want to pick up the phone and call your insurance company to question why you received a bill from a doctor's office, why you received a bill from a laboratory? That doesn't make sense, because the insurance company is simply processing the claim that your primary care physician or the laboratory or an urgent care submitted to the insurance company for processing. I just want to point out, people get very frustrated and their first thought is it's the insurance company's fault. And I'm not saying insurance companies don't make mistakes. Mistakes happen. I'm not saying your doctor's office, billing department, don't make mistakes, because mistakes happen. But what I would suggest, as a tip to you, if you receive a bill from your doctor's office, from a laboratory, from an urgent care, and you've also received an explanation of benefits from the insurance company, and compared the explanation of benefits to the bill that you received, and understand clearly that the claim was submitted to insurance, the insurance company processed the claim, and this is what you're going to owe the provider. The first phone call you should be making is to the doctor's office. They're the ones sending you the bill. Why call the insurance company? The insurance company is going to tell you this. Exactly what they'll tell you is this: the way that your doctor submitted the claim is the way that the claim was processed by the insurance company. They have a language between providers and insurance companies. Those are the codes, the CPT codes, the diagnostic codes. The only way that an insurance company has any idea why you went to the doctor, what happened during that annual doctor's visit, or any doctor's visit for that matter, is based on the codes that the doctor used when they submit the claims to the insurance company. And we've all gone to the doctor's office and we've sat, on the bench or sat on a chair, and the doctor sits at a desk and a table, and the doctor's making notes and putting stuff in their tablet or putting their stuff in their computer. All that information is about what you're talking about your visit. And they code things appropriately based on the conversations that you have with your doctor. So if you go to your doctor's office and you go for an annual wall doctor visit and you get a bill from the doctor's office, why would you pick up the phone and call the insurance company? Why wouldn't you contact your doctor's office and ask them, was there something going on? Did I make a mistake? Is there a mistake that was made at the doctor's office? Maybe even ask the doctor's office if you could possibly do a code review to make sure that the code that the doctor used was the code that the doctor wanted to use and they didn't make a mistake when they coded the claim and submitted it to the insurance company. Because once again, the only way that your insurance company knows what happened during that visit is based on the information that's being provided by your doctor's office, the codes that are used, how it's going to be submitted to the insurance company and processed by insurance is based on the information that your doctor is providing to the insurance company. So it's really important to understand. First thing that I would suggest that you do, if you receive a bill from the doctor's office, wait an appropriate amount of time, maybe 30 days. If it's 30 days, then contact insurance. But if you receive a bill from the doctor's office, wait for your explanation of benefits. Match those explanation of benefits up with your bills. Have a clear understanding how the claim processed. And if you're being billed for something you think you should not be billed for, call the doctor's office and question the doctor's office. Ask them to do a code review. Ask them to make sure that how they submitted that claim to your insurance company for processing was coded correctly. It's going to save you a lot of headaches. It's going to save you a lot of frustration and aggravation. There are people that more times than not will pick up the phone and they'll call the insurance company and wait on hold for a half hour, 45 minutes, only to be told that you need to call your doctor's office. They're the ones that submitted the claim and coded it that way. So avoid the frustration. Don't be aggravated. Don't put yourself in a situation where things are going to be made worse because now you've been on the phone with this person and that person and they're telling you to call the other person. And go to the source. Go to the source. The genesis of the codes is the physician that you're seeing or the facility that you went to and the physicians that you're seeing in those facilities. So if you ever receive a bill from a doctor's office and you think it was incorrect, or you have questions about why you're being billed for something when you went to see your doctor, simply pick up the phone, call your doctor's office, question them, ask them why it was coded the way that it was coded, and if you feel that there was an error in the code, simply ask the doctor's office, can you please do a code review? Look at the way that it was coded, because we didn't have a conversation about this non-routine stuff or diagnostic stuff. We just had a regular conversation about my annual well doctor visit, and I don't think I should be billed for anything because preventative visits are covered at 100%. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to be frustrated and aggravated. And again, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But it's not always the insurance company that's making the mistakes. We always go to the insurance company first, when really what we need to do is go over to the doctor's office and question the doctor's office that submitted the claims. If you've had an experience like this, if you've gone through a frustrating process with a billing situation, drop some comments down below. I'd like to hear about your specific instance or frustration. Maybe I can help you address it. You might be dealing with something right now that you're a little aggravated with and don't know what needs to be done. There's also, processes in insurance where, something might not be covered and you're going to get a bill or a claim is denied because your doctor's office didn't do what they were supposed to do on their end, which would possibly be getting a predetermination where the doctor's office, who is going to see you, needs to contact the insurance company to find out if what they want to do or what they're going to suggest you go through is covered under the insurance plan. That's a predetermination. They're going to contact insurance to find out if this is going to be covered. There are a lot of things that could be experimental and investigational that your doctor might recommend you have done, but they don't know if it's going to be covered under insurance. There's been times, and I've spoken to people, where there's been times where the doctor's office has said, you know what, here's the codes, you call your insurance to find out if it's covered. It's the most insane thing I've ever heard. You and I, as lay people, have no clinical medical background to have a conversation with the insurance company by just supplying them simple codes to say, is this covered? You may have a member services company that you deal with, and they can tell you what the codes mean, but they certainly can't tell you if it's covered, because a portion of the reason why something would or would not be covered is based on your medical history. The other portion is based on medical policy, whether it's investigational or experimental. So it's incumbent upon the doctor's office who is suggesting this treatment or course of action, or for instance, a prescription, where they might have to contact the prescription drug company and get what's called a prior authorization, get approval. There might be medications that you need to try before they would allow you to go to a different medication. There's reasons for that. So predeterminations, prior authorizations are very important. If you've ever been in a situation where you might want to get or need to have an MRI or a CT scan or a different type of test that could possibly require a pre-certification, you might not know that. And you really wouldn't have a way to know that unless you contacted your insurance company or questioned your doctor and said, you know what, is this going to be covered? Do I need to have a pre-certification? Does somebody need to contact my insurance company? A lot of people don't realize that their doctor's offices, especially specialist office, they have a department, which is a certification, pre-certification department or prior authorization department. That's all they do. That's the only reason that they're working for the doctor's office, is so that they will pick up the phone, call your insurance company, make sure that they have approval on a treatment, make sure they have approval on a medication, make sure that they received a pre-certification. Pre-certification, that means it needs to be done before you have the MRI or the CT scan. Otherwise, it's going to be denied, and the doctor's not going to get the bill. You're going to get the bill. But unfortunately, it's the doctor's responsibility or the facility's responsibility to reach out to the insurance plan to have something pre-certified and okayed. And oftentimes, you may receive a letter in the mail, which is a copy of the letter your doctor received, that states simply, this is not going to be approved, and it's going to give reasons why it's not going to be approved, and they're going to give next steps on what your doctor needs to do in order to have this type of procedure or prescription approved by insurance. So save yourself the frustration, save yourself the aggravation, have detailed conversations with your doctor. If they ever give you codes and say, call your insurance and check the code, say, doc, I'm not medically trained. I know that my insurance company has a predetermination department where you or your staff can call to find out if these things are going to be covered for me. And they'll actually give the doctor's office a reference number or an authorization number. And I would ask the doctor for that reference number or authorization number if they proceed with the treatment that you aren't sure about, or the doctor needs to have a predetermination or pre-certification because you want proof that that doctor's office contacted the insurance company to get approval for this specific medication or treatment or imaging or whatever it might be. So it's not always the insurance company that is at fault. And oftentimes we get very frustrated and aggravated, and we want to pick up the phone and call the insurance company and complain to the insurance company. And I don't work for the insurance company, first and foremost. I'm just trying to share information that I've gathered over the last 30 years in being in the insurance business and understanding how insurance works, so it could alleviate some of the frustration you might have to deal with on your end when you get that surprise bill or you get a giant bill and a denied claim because your doctor's office didn't take the appropriate steps needed to make sure that something was covered under your insurance plan. Questions or concerns, please feel free to drop them down in the comments. Hit the notification button so that you know when the next video comes up. If somebody has a question similar to the question that I'm answering today about why I'm getting bills and I shouldn't get bills and what I should do and why I shouldn't call the insurance company, you'll know these videos are out there. And if you like the content that I provide for you, hit the like button, because the only way that YouTube knows that people are interested in gathering information about insurance and getting a better understanding about how insurance works is with people subscribing to the channel. They'll put the content out there for more people. And as we all know, insurance is very frustrating and confusing, and there's a lot of ins and outs to health insurance, especially, not even talking about auto insurance or homeowners insurance or life insurance. So comments, notifications, and subscribe to the channel. I'm happy to help with any other questions or concerns you have. Drop them in the comments section. And I hope this content today helps in regards to understanding that the genesis of the codes comes from your provider, and the responsibility for finding out if something's going to be covered by your insurance is with the doctor's office. Their predetermination or pre-certification department needs to do their job for you as the patient to ensure that things are going to be processed properly and covered under your insurance plan. I hope you all have a great day. And thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And again, please subscribe and hit the like button so that others can have this content as well. Hope you have a great day. Bye now.